Hello everyone, welcome to Fayette County TV, Channel 77. Here at the Stellar Show, Episode 7 we're up to already. So, hey Victor, tell everybody where we're at and what's going on in the shop.
We're here at the Uniontown Mall. This is Pittsburgh Stellar Collectibles. I'm Victor, and again, you forgot to mention Duke, who's basically sleeping already.
Well, so we're going to change that.
But there's some new things going on at the Uniontown Mall. There's several new stores that have opened. Remember, mall hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 5. If you are interested in a space at the mall, there is space available. Call Susan at the mall offices at 724-437-1389. She wants to have the community come up here, be a part of the mall family. If you have an idea for a business, don't be afraid to call that number. That's 724-437-1389 and ask for Susan.
You sure on the number?
724-437-1389.
All right, before we get into the feedback segment of the show, sponsored by Malloy's Paving, 724-277-8037, and just for the heck of it, Scotty Farrell, 724-323-4179.
You sure?
I read
it too.
Yeah, so Fayette County TV, please check out some of the programming on there, like Rise Wrestling, for example. Man on the Streets, fun to watch. Also, there was a virtual tour of the prison. I watched it on Wednesday, the 21st, when it dropped. That was excellent. The job, the presentation, it's well worth checking out. And kids, only check out the virtual presentation. To check out what's on YouTube and on Fayette County TV, don't find out from experience. So let's get into...
Also, before you forget, like and subscribe to Fayette
Absolutely.
TV. It helps us
Fayette County
understand.
TV.
Fayette County TV.
Breeze line, right? All right.
Breeze line.
So what do you got for feedback? Anything?
Feedback this week is... I have really nothing. I'm happy.
Well, I'm coming at you. So... you kind
Set
of
myself up again.
Yes, absolutely. So you ended the last show. Are you on the nutting bandwagon that I built all those years ago? Have you come around?
See, it's still painful. It's a work in progress, but I'm coming around to see some of the logic with the great Mr. Bob Nutting. I will say the great Mr.
Absolutely.
At this
That
point,
man has saved baseball in this area.
It was problematic, and I was looking at it through the eyes of a
I'll tell you,
jilted fan, if you will.
And I'm glad you said that. You know what? I think, what is it, 93, The Agenda, or whatever that one channel is. I refuse to call them by what they call themselves.
The Agenda is good for...
Absolutely. You know what? They put out this narrative that this man's cheap, but none of them has ever paid anyone $5 to $10 million to hit a baseball or throw one, so I don't know what credibility they have on that subject. But
we do in Pittsburgh like to trade as well as spend other people's money.
Absolutely.
Trade their players and spend their money.
So you know what? I go down there. I went down, it was 21 or 22 times last year. You know, you could get hot dogs, they have fireworks, bobbleheads. Always a good time at the house that Mr. Nutting built with love. So what else we got going on here? Oh, you know what? Real quick on my end.
And the air is better if you really take a deep breath right now, because spring training is active and going on in Florida.
Absolutely. I wish I was there.
Maybe. You never know.
You know what? Spur of the moment, right?
Could be a plan.
So, you know, last week I was under the weather. I'd like to thank everyone that sent, get well wishes and whatnot. And I'd even like to address my super fan that sent the opposite of best wishes. So I think we have one of his burner emails, KDP102069, and I'm not going to finish the rest of it. So that was a,
They were actually pleased in your misery.
Oh, well, if you've been following the trend of, they're not the only ones. So let's see here. You know what? We started a discussion on Trevor Bauer. I think would be fun to close out the feedback section portion of the show. So, you know what? And this kind of hit me on the way home. One of the reasons the Pirates went with Garrett Cole over Trevor Bauer, even though, if I recall right, Bauer did make it to the majors before Cole. But there was maturity issues.
Well, that was the Huntington regime as well.
Well,
we found out
fine.
that they had a scale that you had to pitch so many innings.
Absolutely, but let's be honest. I mean, if you were going back to 2011, you're taking Cole over Bauer.
The Pirates had problems.
Regardless of who you were, Yankees, anyone. But the other thing, too, now, Trevor Bauer. If you go that route, you got Skeens coming in, who's projected as the best prospect since, Bryce Harper and Ken Griffey Jr. Do you want someone that's got maturity issues rubbing off on someone like that? They got a good clubhouse right now. They got McCutchen back in the fold. There's no drama. There's no nonsense.
I think they're hitching their wagon more to Edward Cabrera
That's
trade
fine.
with the Marlins right now. I think that's where the Bauer thing is come off the rails, is the Pirates, according to sources that you read on the internet, are really in on this Cabrera who throws 98 but can't control it. Got a wild thing, Ricky Vaughn. But
you know what?
My problem with that is who have the Pirates developed as far as pitching goes.
I'm going to throw an audible at you to close out the segment. Why don't you throw a thank you to Pengy's Pizza?
Oh, yes, we did a great commercial. Topangos, I apologize to you. The video was great. The audio was lacking. But everybody out there, we had the card show a couple weeks back, and Pangy's Pizza bailed us out. We had no food, and that was the second show that they came in a row. Pangy's Pizza is on Connersville Street in Uniontown. They have excellent food and a wonderful staff and a tremendous owner. Check out Pangy's Pizza.
The pizza was good. I can personally vouch for that. Thank you.
If you missed 3 Redneck Tenors last season, you really missed out. We're bringing them back to the State Theater in Uniontown to give you another chance to catch this hilarious and talented trio. Join our 3 singing cousins as they stamp their way through Broadway's greatest hits. The 3 Redneck Tenors, March 1st at the State Theater in Uniontown. Tickets are available now at statetheater.info or by calling 724-439-1360.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fayette County TV, Channel 77. We're about to do the Mail Day portion of the show, brought to you by Yinzer Valley Farms. Get on their site, check out all the events going on. There's always something fun going on there. But let's just jump into the mail. All right, so...
It's nice to see you got the jerseys back on.
You know what? I'm glad. You know what? We'll sidebar. So, especially this particular one, you're going to like this. So
was this the jersey that was under the jacket for?
No.
That wasn't.
But so I'm sporting my Nailers jersey. But this Saturday night,
Cowpoke Posse.
Well, it's country night down in Wheeling. So I'm bringing out one of my rare occasions. I'm bringing out Cowboy Ken persona. Might have some moonshine before we head down too. Haven't decided yet.
Out of a Molloy's Paving coffee cup.
You know what? You get me a few of those. But you know what?
Explain a little bit this Cowboy Ken thing, because I think inquiring minds would like to know.
Actually, I won't. Well, that will depend on how.
Are you ashamed of this?
That will depend on how good the moonshine is. And as far as this, for the Mount Pleasant folk, especially those that I shared the Viking locker room with all those years ago, yes, this is the Eat Lightning Crap Thunder hat. It still exists, and it's been in my possession for all these years. But let's get into the mail. Anything you want to insult or add to that?
Cowpoke Posse is the only thing I can help you with at this point.
You know what? Tell them to come.
Go Nailers.
Yeah, tell them to come. I'll swing by and grab them if they're not wrestling this weekend. So we actually got a bonus in this pack. But the first part of this we're going to address is a T206 Piedmont 350 Jack Quinn. So
wow.
This here, we'll get you what you need for that. So Jack Quinn, this is two cool stories on this on my end. Number one, how I come across Jack Quinn. I bought a lot of tobacco cards years ago. I think Eddie Collins might have been the player's name. I think he played in Philadelphia. I'm watching one of these eBay lots. There was like 20 tobacco cards, and the lot was only at like $30 or something. And I'm like, that Collins card will go for $50. So I threw a bid of like $60 on it. I ended up getting it. So I started Googling all the names of these guys because I knew none of the rest of them. I did come across Jack Quinn. Now this is great. When I went to Jack Quinn, so the story reads, this is from Wikipedia, and from locals that I've talked to, historians, it's confirmed. Quinn spent his early years working as a swimmer and blacksmith while playing recreational ball for mining teams. He got his start as a professional in an unusual way. While watching a semi-pro game in Connersville, the 14-year-old Quinn threw a foul ball back from the stands to the catcher, hitting his mitt right in the middle. The visiting manager from the nearby town of Dunbar was impressed by the throw and offered Quinn a contract on the spot. He ended up playing 20-plus years in the majors. He had World Series records that lasted into the 1950s. Excellent story, and I wanted that for my collection for that purpose, because
The part of this story that is amazing is if you go back to 1977, the movie of the year was The Bad News Bears. And a kid named Kelly Leak
pretty much a story.
is the story. That is the story that they used for the little leaguer named Kelly Leak in The Bad News Bears. That's how he became sponsored by Chico's Bail Bonds.
Well, speaking of sponsors, I know Malloy's Paving that helps us out with the show. They have some lineage with Jack Quinn. I believe they housed him, or there was a manager, but we'll get that story down the road. Maybe have some pictures and whatnot to share. But we're going to have some fun here. So we have a bonus. You see what we got here?
I would recommend you do not open this if this was in my store. If this was one of my pieces, I recommend all these kids, if you get lucky enough to find a pack of cards that are unopened before 1987, this is a pack of 86 tops, just let the value go up.
Let's
but
be honest,
you're crazy and you
that's
will
right.
open this. Most people do not listen to me on this advice.
Well, the only reason I'm not listening to you here is 1986, Cecil Fielder's rookie. Is there anything else in there worth mentioning? By the way, I got
second year McGuire, there's a lot of second year stars in there.
McGuire's not in that.
He's not in 86?
No, because he's like his tops, because he's
in the 85.
In 87. He's not in 86.
There is no 86 McGuire?
I got dibs on
I learned something.
I got dibs on the gum.
Please, I'll give you $1 if you chew that. I'll have to do the rest of the show because he won't be able to talk because it turns into
Well,
powder.
you know what? Let's be honest. This is probably one of the reasons.
Go ahead, you can
This
show
is
him.
probably one of the reasons that. I was always told when the gum's busted like that, the pack was probably searched. But either way, 38-year piece of gum.
I can hear him crunching it right now.
Well, I can't too because the mic's pretty close. So this is horrible.
It's that bad.
It's
One of the things I have to
chewing on
do is
chalk.
prevent this from happening. This is one of the reasons I tell the kids don't open these packs is they go and chew it and blame me for selling them this 40-year-old gum.
Oh, I shouldn't have swallowed that.
The pain.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Dwayne Murphy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that.
Frank DiPino.
Garbage.
Barry Bonnell.
Oh, Kirk Gibson. That's a nice
Bert
one.
Hooton, who threw a no-hitter.
Oh, okay. I shouldn't have crap on him then. Garbage. Oh, Hal McRae. He was relevant.
Trivia question: who was the only player who played games with a
Roscoe.
toothpick in his pocket or in his mouth? UL Washington. World Series with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Kansas City Royals. I'm still thinking Swifty.
Them too. Oh, we got a Pete Rose. Jim something.
Acker.
Alan Wiggins. Eric Davis. That
Second year.
second year. He was relevant. Ron Darling. So actually, we're gonna. You know what? I'm pitching to you. You can use these to, except for maybe that Kirk Gibson. That's a nice card. To just in case you ding up whatever you got going on here.
This is the kind of thing that I deal with a lot is people come in with the cards from this era that are considered junk wax.
like stuck
The
in
way
my throat.
cards work right now is everything from today back to about 1990 or 2000 is considered current era cards. From 1999 all the way back to 69 is considered the junk wax era. Before that is considered the vintage cards. So cards like this were mass produced, and a lot of people will put these into these sleeves, just like I'm doing here. This is a standard page of sleeves that comes from a company called BCW, which I seem to have lost the package form. It's irrelevant. But what people do, because you can look at the cards or put them into the pages. So now the problem with doing this is every time you flip the card, you're causing torsion and you're damaging the sides and the corners of the pages. So putting them in the binders like this for your regular cards isn't such a horrible thing, and it's a neat way to display them and look at them. But as soon as you ding a corner like I just did on this UL Washington, which can happen in these pages, you're going to lose the value of the cards. So what has happened recently is, here it is. They've created a new variety of pages that hold the top loaders in them. If you go back to episode 2, I explain how to put the cards into the top loaders. I'm just reminding you of that, but we're going to skip that for right now.
That might have been episode 4.
Was it episode 4?
Go watch them all.
Subscribe. So what you can do with these new modern pages is take the top loaded card and put them into the pages.
That's awesome.
So now you can have a binder where you can flip through.
Yeah, you know what? That protects them and displays them better.
And the downside to that is you can't put two top loaders back to back. So if I take this one out, probably best to do it this way, and try to shove it into the backside of this. It will rip the perforation. You lose the ability. So just one at a time in here. You can't go up too thick on patch cards in this, but you can get the thinner patches in the autographs, put them into the pages. To show you, I'm sorry, I'm jumping in and out, but there's a lot to show you. This is a top loader binder.
Nice.
This is an old-fashioned binder that has, what I'm building is the Michael Jordan rookie card set in
86 Flair.
And you see how much bigger the page is than the old-fashioned standard binder. So what I did was cut up one of my card show signs to protect it. And what I'm doing here, as you can see, is building the set of Michael Jordan. He's card, what, 34?
67 or 57, right?
That's a great trivia question. First person that answers that question in the comments gets to get 10% off at the store.
You got a checklist?
I do not.
Okay, yeah.
But then I'm moving into the next year after that. So this is a basketball binder. What has transpired, these are a little difficult to get a hold of right now. Thanks again to Malloy's Paving. This is a binder built for the top loader cards.
That's awesome.
So as you can see, you can go page by page. The thing that is nice is when you're dealing with the top loaders, guys will bring a box of cards in like this, and it's really difficult to go through these cards one at a time, especially if you're just looking for one card. So they're in the box, it's a mess. This eliminates the whole flip through the box thing. You can go just page by page on this. So as you see, here's a lot of Joey Porters. And the next time I have a card show, which we'll have a date by next week to tell you when the next card show is, you can see Jack of Malloy's Paving, who this is his binder that he's built. And he's probably going to have all of this for sale. So putting these in this is the best way to do this right now, because you can just buy them right out of it. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so now there's one more thing I want to give you guys, because I try to give you guys all the information I can. On the sleeves, these little plastic sleeves, the original ones, the Ultra Pros, the BCWs, they are difficult. As you see, I'm struggling to try to put the card into it. A company came out with a nicked corner on the sleeve, Easy Glide. I highly recommend this for the guys who care about trying to send the cards into PSA. The corners are nicked. I don't know if you can tell that from that far away, but the card just slides right in. You don't get caught on it. So that's Easy Glide is the company that has the nicked.
You have this for sale here?
Yes, I have them here. So I have
highly recommend those.
That's, this is life-saving stuff for the corners on
especially
these cards.
Especially if you go to submit that for a grade. I mean, something is just a little tap is all it takes.
Plus,
to make
there's 100 of these in here, and they go about $2 a pack. So if you are lucky enough to have 100 cards that you can send into PSA, it's worth the $2 to
just for 50
use
cents
that
more
for
to get
there.
that good of a slider.
And it makes it a little bit easier to put these in the top loaders after you use the Easy Glide. This as well as the top loader binder are two revolutions, I should say, in card collecting that everybody should pay attention to.
All right, I'm good, man. Anything
Good
else?
there?
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashley with the Fayette Chamber. Today with another ribbon cut at King's Physical Therapy. They're really putting us to work today.
Everybody, welcome back to Fayette County TV, Channel 77 here for the closing segment of the Stellar Show. Thank you for checking us out, and don't forget at the conclusion of this show, stay tuned for Rise Wrestling that follows our program immediately. Victor, I wanted to pitch this to you here. You have, Dirty Dango is going to be on this week, formerly Fandango of WWE fame. So
I'm still a fan of the cowpoke, so I think cowpoke could probably take it. What I have here in front of me is one of my customers brought this in 2 or 3 years ago. This is the Herald Standard Morning Edition and the Patriot Edition from 1963. If you can focus in on this picture, this is at downtown Uniontown. The last time, or one of the times that the Uniontown Red Raiders basketball team won the state championship. This is a fantastic piece of history, and right now, this show, this mall, and this town would like to give all good wishes to the Uniontown basketball team, who is now currently in the Final Four of the Whip Hills, and hopefully they will bring another state championship here to Uniontown.
So they're qualified for the state playoffs too then, right?
Yeah, they're probably already
That's good.
done
Good for
with
them.
that. But this is a neat piece of history.
Absolutely.
And to all of you kids out there, that's a newspaper. They used to come daily.
Yeah.
Not everything was done on your phone.
So speaking of history, Yager this past week was added to the list of numbers retired by the Pittsburgh Penguins. How's your Mount Rushmore of Penguins hockey goes? I'll give mine first. Lemieux's number 1. It's not a debate.
No question.
Okay, number 2, I'll go Crosby. Number 3, I'll go Malkin. Number 4, I'll go Yager. What say you?
Mario he is and will always be the greatest Penguin of all time.
I'll argue greatest hockey player of all time.
There's real good arguments for that. Number 2 is Jaromir Jagr. I know everybody around here loves Sidney Crosby, but when you look up on Hockey Reference, for a career, Jaromir Jagr is number 2 all-time in assists. He's number 4 all-time in points and number 5 all-time in goals. Before you start, I will also say that's where Crosby and Malkin come in as 3 and 4. We have the same thing, just in a different order. Everybody, please stop bringing me these Beckett magazines that have all the prices from the 90s. They are completely worthless.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't even burn them. Be grateful that the garbage man took them if they do.
So how can you put anybody, Crosby or Malkin, above
Look, for the
Jagr?
record, I mean, if it's 2000 or if I'm signing one of these guys for 20 years at their peak, I'm signing Yager. But the argument we're coming from 2 different contexts. Malkin and Crosby have had better Penguin careers. Jaromir Jagr, you could argue, has had a better NHL career. These numbers, so he might be 2nd, 4th, and 5th, but within the Penguins, he's not.
But he's 2nd, 4th, and 5th all time.
I get that.
It puts him above
But
all the big names,
like
all the big shots.
12 to 14 of those years weren't with the Penguins. They were in different uniforms.
One question I have is how many of the Penguin fans out there admit this when he came onto the ice thought he was going to play?
He should have. They could have used him. Look, I ain't going to debate that.
And
But
the whole thing right now with trading Gensel, I know I'm getting off topic,
No,
but
no,
trading
by all means.
Gensel to get younger while keeping the 4 old guys, how does that make sense?
they don't. And they can keep firing GMs and coaches, but that's not solving the problem either. But I want to get back to this. So, no, I'm sorry. I got Crosby, Malkin, 2, 3. Look, I love Yager. He's still on my Rushmore, but I have him 4, not 2.
You realize it was Mario, Yager, and Gretzky for what, 15 years? No one else won a scoring title.
But, I'll even do you one better. If we're talking NHL all time, I'm having Yager ahead of Malkin. But I don't have him ahead of Malkin as a Penguin. I have Malkin ahead of him as a Penguin.
I would like you to tell me what your all-time, if you're playing the Martians and they come down and you have to create a starting first line of hockey players of all time. Try to keep Yager off of that.
No, I'm going the 87.
He's the best right wing of all
I'm going
time.
the 87 Canadian Cup team. I'm just.
But you can't put Gretzky and Lemieux on the same line.
I'll find a way.
If you're going strictly by positions, try to keep Yager off of that team.
Nah, I'll find a way. Like I said, yeah.
This is why my team would beat the Martians, and we're in the trouble we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, my team has Lemieux on it, so I'm good.
Of course you have Lemieux as center,
And Patrick
but the
Waugh goal at his
you're
peak.
going to have Lemieux and Yager on that. Gretzky might be your second-line center.
Are we talking 1 line or 3 lines?
You're talking the team to start against the Martians. Who's going to be your center?
So,
Lemieux or Gretzky?
Now, is this like
Yager's easy as the right wing. There's no one
hold
close.
on. We're talking like a Space Jam here. So are we?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so if we're going to Space
Is
Jam
Sidney
route,
Crosby even considered for that team?
no, but I don't think Yager is either. I'm sorry. I just and neither
By
is Malkin.
position, he's a left-handed shot on the right wing. Who was ever better in that position?
Yeah, I'm just.
RVD, baby. I'll do a wrestling thing.
Shouldn't you use your own initials?
I don't have a middle name. I can't do that.
You weren't given a middle name?
No, I do not have. Parents were lazy. I do not. But I'm a junior somehow. Mom, explain that one to me.
I'm sorry, but no,
Victor
right?
Molick Jr., no middle name.
But your argument's kind of all over the place.
I still like this, though.
No, that's cool. I mean, RVD might have that copyrighted though, so or Petey Weber might. But back to this whole thing with this, like the Space Jam argument. You said like you're having 2 and 3 lines. You only have one. If you're playing the Martians and you only have one line.
You got to start somebody, and when you start a team for the opening face-off, you're going to have to pick 5 guys.
Yeah, I'm going Lemieux center. I'm putting Ovi on a wing. I'm putting Goretzky on a wing.
They're centers. You can't do that. That's outside the argument.
You don't watch much hockey, do you?
I watch it. No.
No, you don't.
That's all for the Stellar Show today.
Oh, no, it's not. But we're going to continue this. We'll see you next week.
Duke, help me.
Oh, yeah. Wake up, bud. We ain't that boring.
But no, that's the problem. You're trying to use 3 big shots.
But
You got to play them by their position.
Have you ever
Okay,
watched,
are you going to take
have you ever watched a power play?
Addrolus Chapman and start him against the Martians?
Have you ever watched a power play, how it works? Mark Recchi would go play defense.
This isn't for the power play.
This is if we're
us
playing Martians,
versus
I'm
the
doing
Martians.
whatever I got to do.
We're playing the Martians.
Yeah.
And the Martians have rules. You're a right winger,
they
you're
don't.
a
It's
left winger,
Martians.
you're a center. This
I'm
isn't
playing-
the power
I'm
play.
playing
You're not
for survival.
short-handed.
I'm putting Messier on defense, and I'm putting Bob Probert in prime.
This is cheating.
No, it's not.
It's cheating.
It's survival.
You're going to use a relief pitcher
Did you
as a
not watch
starter.
Space Jam? I didn't watch the second one but I remember the first one.
I never watched the second one. I barely watched the first one.
Well, I remember the first one. It was good. So, but if we're using the
Bird didn't play on Space Jam.
I don't remember. It's been long.
Bird didn't fall down the hole. Bird was playing golf with Bill Murray.
That sounds about right.
That's the movie. I actually have the Space Jam thing over there somewhere.
Yeah.
The audio.
I'll take your word on it.
To be continued.
Fair enough. You kept rolling.
Is that okay? Oh, that part's in there too. Keep it going.